Well, moving on now, as prospective students seek admission into tertiary institutions, officials are sounding the alarm once again. They're warning them to watch out for bogus colleges. The education department's expecting a spike in advertising from fake institutions now that matric results are out. Well, joining us this morning is the department's Dr. Shahida Isak to tell us what we should be watching out for. Doctor, good morning. Thanks very much for your time.
Good morning, Yuveka.
Let's talk about these bogus institutions. I mean, for years we've seen these warnings coming out, and last year, if I'm not mistaken, we were having the very same discussion, you and I, weren't we, about the shutting down of bogus institutions and identifying them. How well have we done a year later with that?
Okay, Yuveka, we have both bad news and good news. Now, the bad news is that the whole problem or the phenomenon of bogus colleges is not going to go away. But the good news is that we have made great improvements in reducing the number of illegal colleges. We have closed down many, but I think more than that is the awareness we have raised among the public, students and parents, and the education that we have given to them on how to engage critically with bogus operators and also with legally registered institutions and the kinds of irregular behavior they engage in. And as you've mentioned, most of the problems come around advertising.
Yeah.
So there is a huge awareness, there's a huge level of conscientization. Students are aware of their rights, the recourse they have, and it's actually very encouraging the manner in which the public now engages with the department and the kind of information we get from them, because it is this kind of information that helps us actually develop our own policies and our own interventions.
Well, you speak of the advertising, and I picked up my phone because I received this SMS yesterday saying study a business course from 455 Rand per month, join 30,000 students at, I'm going to mention the name because if they're legitimate, of course, they'd have nothing to worry about, at IQ Academy, and it's hashtag Ukwazi Ukuzimela, and please send a please call me to this number and know to opt out. Now, what does one do when you receive a message like that? I mean, you know, from others as well. How do you check if it is something I was interested in doing anyway?
Okay. In the first instance, we have the legislation in place to register private colleges that are accredited with Umalusi, private higher education institutions that register institutions offering degrees and diplomas, university equivalent qualifications, and they are accredited with the Council on Higher Education. Now, alongside that, we have the private skills providers who are currently accredited with the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations and the different CETAs. Now, with those providers, some are already registered as private colleges, but others are not. The registration process is pending. But if they have the accreditation with the CETAs and the QCTO, then they are legitimate. We consider them to be legitimate. Yes, because the accreditation's in order. So that's the first step. You need to check with the relevant authorities, the department, the QCTO, CHE, Umalusi, and the CETAs, right, on whether the provider and the program and the site are properly accredited. Now, this example that you have shown us now, IQ Academy, you've mentioned the name of the institution. Now, I know IQ Academy. It is registered with the department as a private higher institution for like 4 or 5 qualifications.
Okay.
Right. So the advertising then has to be engaged with critically. Okay. And what students need to be aware of is that the programs that are not qualifications cannot be passed off as qualifications.
Okay, so
right. And then that's the first issue. The second issue is, if you are paying 50 Rand for a program, what kind of quality do you expect to get from
455 Rand per month,
455
as a
per
business
month,
course,
yes. So they need to engage critically, they need to check with the department as a first step, the relevant authority. Then they need to engage with other students. And what we find students saying to us is that when they have problems, they go onto Hello Peter. They record their complaints onto Hello Peter. So students need to go onto the Hello Peter website as well.
So just generally, and for those who may not have the access or have means to check and verify, like we said, go through all of those processes, what should be the red flags when you receive a flyer, when you see an advertisement that this place might not be what it says it is?
Okay, the quality of the flyer is important because you will find there's all kinds of information on the flyer. It is loaded. There are all kinds of promises made. There are all kinds of claims made with respect to employment, with respect to promotion, with respect to 30,000 students. Now, even the largest public university may not have that enrollment. So students need to then think and engage.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
And especially a place they haven't heard of before.
Yes. And then speak to other students as well. Go onto the website, Google the name of the institution, go onto Hello Peter, check with the department, go to the institution if you can, speak to other students, speak to parents. Ask the institution, give us a list of your lecturers and their qualifications.
Okay, you can ask for that.
You can ask for that. Tell us how long you've been established. Go to them and say, look, on Hello Peter we see ABC. What is your response to that? Look at the level of professionalism. When you enter the institution, is it in a dump? Is it in a hole in the ground? Is it a professionally designed infrastructure? All of that says a lot about the institution. Who is the principal? Is he qualified? Do they have their papers in order? And the papers would be from the Department, Higher Education and Training. UMALU, CCHE, QCTO, and the CETAs.
Okay, so you really need to do your homework before you do this. And if it looks too good to be true, as we always say, it probably is.
And be aware of the online internet fraud as well. That's huge. It's a big problem nationally and globally.
So don't pay anything.
No, not even your credit card details.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you very much, Dr. Shahida Ishak, just giving us all the do's and don'ts when it comes to trying to get yourself some kind of qualification. Beware still of those bogus institutions. They still do exist.